Introduced in Deck Build Pack Wall Survivors, Vanquish Soul is an attribute-based mid-range deck that focuses on outgrinding your opponent with card advantage. With their assortment of quick effects, they trade with efficient interruption, aiming to simplify the game state and eventually win through either beatdown or burn. However, their effects come with a condition. Vanquish Soul monsters require the player to reveal attributes from their hand to activate their effects. This gives the deck an extra layer of complexity, requiring you to not only balance the attributes in deck building, but also to carefully manage the use of cards in your hand, as one wrong move may leave you without the attribute you need to activate your effects. I won't be going too in-depth on their effects as I've already covered them in another video, but if you want a breakdown of what they do, feel free to check it out. Getting right into the list, we're running 3 Vanquish Soul Raisin. This is the main searcher of the deck, allowing us to search for a non-warrior Vanquish Soul when summoned. It also happens to be our primary interruption, with the quick effect to destroy all other monsters in its column by revealing a dark and a fire monster. This means that we want to prioritize getting a fire and dark monster into our hand as soon as possible, and since Raisin can't search itself, we're running 1 Pluton HE for our fire search target. For our darks, we have Dr. Madlove, a monster that searches for a Vanquish Soul spell or trap when summoned, and as a quick effect, it can bounce a monster by revealing a dark and a earth. Next, we have Heavy Burger, a monster with the quick effect to special summon itself by bouncing a VS of a different type. It also has the quick effect to draw a card by revealing a dark monster, or to burn your opponent for 1500 damage by revealing an earth and a fire. Heavy Burger is key to the deck's game plan, being our main advantage engine in the early game, as well as helping close out games with his burn effect representing 3000 damage each turn cycle. As for Earths, I'm running 1 copy of Pantera, a monster that can special summon itself if you control no monsters in the main monster zone. I'm also running 3 copies of Kaiser Varus, a monster that, like Burger, can special summon itself by bouncing a VS of a different type. By revealing an Earth, Kaiser can become unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, and by revealing an Earth, a Fire, and a Dark, it can destroy a card on the field without targeting. For our hand trap lineup, we have Maxi, Ash Blossom, and DD Crow. These are just the best hand traps to fit the attributes we need. You could run Dimension Shifter in place of the DD Crows, but with how much VS draws, being a dead draw really hurts. I'm also running Droll and Lockbirds, which is just a good hand trap for the current format. For the spell and trap lineup, I'm running 1 each of Vanquish Soul Dust Devil and Vanquish Soul Continue, giving us a searchable interruption and an archetypal monster reborn. Next, we have Stake Your Soul, a spell that allows you to reveal a monster and special summon a VS with a different name but the same attribute from your deck. For consistency, we're running Rota as well as 3 Small Worlds. You could run Infernal Arms Durandal in place of this, but I found there just aren't enough ways to summon monsters in this deck to justify it. For the pot of choice, you could run Pot of Prosperity, but I actually like running Pot of Desires in this deck. The +1 helps you play through interaction and get your effects live, and unlike Prosperity, Desires does not prevent you from activating Burger in the same turn. Lastly, we're running a triple Tactics talent as well as Infinite Impermanence for additional hand traps, but I have been considering just maining There Can Be Only One in this slot instead. For the extra deck, there's honestly a lot of free space. We have the mandatory tree of Rock of the Vanquisher, with the quick effect to either add a Vanquish Soul from your graveyard to your hand or special summon a Vanquish Soul from your hand, allowing you to position your column effects like Raisin better. Other than that, I'm just running removal pieces. Security Dragon, Nightmare's Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn often come up, and Link BOS and Access Code are just nice to have. For rank 4s, we have the standard package of Abyss Dweller and Baguska, but I'm also running an Evil Storm Exeter Knight for more removal, as well as Zodiac Chakra Knight and Bauble to climb into 4 materials use. You rarely go into any of these, but it's nice to have the option when they come up. As you can see from the games, Vanquish Soul has an incredible ability to snowball once it gets going. Well, if it gets going. If they can't resolve Raisin, the deck is severely hampered, forcing you to rely on the luck of the draw to get the attributes you need in hand. The deck also has issues going second, forcing you to rely on generic cards to break boards or hand traps to soften them out for you to break them, and good luck if you get drawed. It also has difficulty dealing with monsters that can't be destroyed, making it important for players to have cards like Kurikara or Kaijus in your side deck. That being said, VS has access to the tools needed to deal with these issues, and with smart side decking, they can be circumvented. Without a doubt, Vanquish Soul is a deck to keep an eye on for the upcoming format, and with support likely around the corner, it'll be interesting to see how the deck develops.